reasons why she should not go to a sacrifice. Because previously in Daksha's sacrifice, Lord Shiva was being um, like not given proper respect, and he was told so many bad names by Daksha. So he thought that for the new yajna he would not go. The recent yajna which he is doing, like for example Vajpaya and Brihaspati Sava yajna. But Sati wanted to go there, and she gave many arguments why she should go there. Like for example, it is your father-in-law's, and she's arguing that Lord Shiva should also go, and she should also go. And she gave many arguments in support of that. And Lord Shiva, in answers to that, told that I wanted to go, but if I go there, it is not good. Why? Because like though we last time discussed that qualities of a proud person, like even having all those opulent qualities, like for example, austerity, wealth, beauty, youth, and heritage, they become faults if one has false ego. And he may blaspheme more if we go there. And then he also gave many other arguments telling and forbidding Sati to go for this yajna. And he also told that going will also cause harm. If you neglect my words and go, the future will not be good for you. So Sati was in a like in a very dual state of mind, whether she should go or not go. And she also became angry, and she became so much distressed. So from verse number 1 to 5 in this chapter, which is the fourth chapter, which is titled as Sati quits her body. So she actually, Lord Shiva became silent after telling all those things, but Sati is very anxious, and she was moving up and down, and then she become a little angry, and because of that anxiety she could not understand, and she decided to go anyhow. So bewildered, she left, and because of her womanly nature, it is written that she got moved into that, and she left Lord Shiva, and then went there. And then when she was going to the arena of yajna, all different associates of Lord Shiva, like Nandi, Yakshas, and her pet bird Sarika, and all those different, means they want to take her in the pomp and procession, because all other sisters also went the same way. So they also want to accompany her in that way. But once she reaches the arena, Sati was not welcomed because she is linked to Lord Shiva. Even though she was one of the daughters that Daksha used to like, she was the youngest daughter, and he used to like her very much, but he was not welcomed. No one received Sati properly. Sati did not accept the seat and gift. So because no one received him, so whatever seat and gifts are given to her by her mother and sisters received well, but whatever gifts was given, she was not accepting it. And she got angry on Daksha. And then she started condemning the sacrifice. Why he is doing the sacrifice the when the oblations are not given to Lord Shiva? So from the verse number 11 to 23, Shruti starts condemning Daksha and appreciating Lord Shiva. Like for example, in the 11th verse, he says, "Who except you would hate Lord Shiva, who has no superior or rival in this world, to whom no one is dear or inimical?" So she goes on then. And then in 12th verse, he says about the difference between sadhu and asadhu. And that is very instructive. So I wanted to just say a few lines. Sadhus like Lord Shiva find no faults in others' qualities, but they magnify even meager good qualities in others. They only see good in others. But a man like you simply find faults in a great source. And man like who had puffed up with proud, they can see faults even in exalted personalities. So that's what she started saying. And then she talks about how Lord Shiva's name is purifying, and his order is never neglected, and how Lord Shiva's lotus feet are being sought after by different demigods and Lord Brahma also, and auspicious, and how Lord Shiva is auspicious to everyone, telling the glories of Lord Shiva. But then she starts telling about how to treat a blasphemer of a Vaishnava. And this verse relates to that. So let's recite this verse and understand what is written in how Sati is explaining it, and this is based upon the scriptures and dharma. So let's recite. Karnau pidhaya nirayad yadakalpaishe.
Karnau pidhaya nirayad yadakalpaishe.
Dharma vitarya shrunibhir nribhirasya mane.
Dharma vitari asnivi nirvi ashyamani.
Chindyat prasahya rushatim asatim prabhusche.
Chindya prasaya satim asatim pravushe.
Jivamasu tato vishuchet sadharmaha.
Jivamasnapi tato visujas dharmaha.
More time. Karno pidhaya nirayadyadat akalpaishe.
Karnau pidhaya nirayadyadakalpaise.
Dharma vitarya shrunibhir nrubhirasya mane.
Dharma vitari asrinivi nirvi pashamane.
Chindyat prasahya rushatim asatim prabhusche.
Chindya tasaya rusatim asatim pravusraje.
Jivamasu tato visujet sadharmaha.
Jivamasnapi tato visujas dharmaha.
Karno pidhaya nirayadyadat akalpaishe.
Karnau pidhaya nirayadyadakalpaise.
Dharma vitarya shrunibhir nribhirasya mane.
Dharma vitari asnivi nrivi pashyamane.
Chindyat prasahya rushatim asatim prabhusche.
Chindya prasaya prasatim asatim pravushe.
Vamasu tato vishujet sadharmaha.
Jivamasnapi tato visrujat dharma.
Voluntary recitations.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can try. Karnau pidhaya nirayadyadakalpaishe.
Karno
Karnau vidaya nirayad adakalpaise.
Dharma vitarya shrunubhir nrubhir asya mani.
Dharma
Dharma vitarya sunivi nrivi ashyamani.
Chindyat prasahya rushatim asatim prabhusche.
Chindyat
Chindya
prasahya
tasaya
asatim
prasatim asatim
prabhusche.
pravushe.
Jivamasunapi tato vishrajit sadharmaha.
Masuna Shatam Visrajas Dharma.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mantaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Karnau pidhaya nirayadada kalpaise.
Karno pidhaya nirayadadat.
Yadyadakalpaishe.
Dharma vitari asrinivi nrivi ashyamane.
Dharma vitarya shrunibhi
Nabhir asyamani.
Chindyat prasahya rusatim asatim pravusej.
Chindyat prasahya
Rushatim asatim prabhushche.
Jiva masunapi tato visujit dharmaha.
Jihvamasu tato vishujet sadharmaha.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else want to try? Okay. So then let's see what this verse says. Karno pidhaya. So now 3 ways of approaching. If what happens, like for example, let's see all the lines here. Dharma, Vitarya, and Ishe. Ishe is master and Dharma Vitarya is the controller of religion. So this is given to these 2 terms are for Lord Shiva or persons who are like on a very exalted position. And now Ashrunibhi Nribhirasyamani. Ashrunibhi are who don't listen actually. Ashrunibhi are, so they are termed as irresponsible. Nribhi means Nara, Narasya Nribhi means persons. Asyamane means being blasted. When Ishe and Dharma Vitarya, like the control of religion, the master, people like having those qualities are being like blasphemed by Ashrunibhi, by irresponsible persons, what has to be done? 3 different approaches. Karno pidhaya nirayadyam akalpa. So putting hands on both the ears, blocking, and one should go away. That is one approach. And that approach is being done by Brahmanas. We will see in the thing why that is being done, because if they would do other activities, that is not like good for them, how we will discuss. The other approach is Chindyat Prasahya Rushatim Mashatim Prakshya and Jiva. So Chindyat Prasahya, by force, cut the tongue, Jiva. Okay. Rushatim Asatim, vilifying, who is telling all those blaspheming words. Prabhu. If one is able, he should do that. Chindya Prasagya Jiva. And if one is not able, and he is in that class and he is not suitable for him, he cannot do it, then what he has to do? Asunapi, his own life, tato visrujets, one should give up his own life. That is dharma, that is the process. So that is being discussed. 3 different approaches are given. One is to put both the hands on the ears, block the ears, and one should go away. And second approach is cut the tongue of the blasphemer. And third one is to give up one's own life, because one has already heard blasphemy of exalted personalities, of a Vaishnava. Here, in this case, it's a Vaishnava, and it's kind of a Vaishnava aparad. So before we go into the translation, I just wanted to read what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions in his commentary. He says, describing the good people, you have forbidden seeing fault in others. But you criticize me, a Brahmana, worshipped by the whole world as a progenitor, and your father as well. You are asadhutura. And this is who Daksha saying to Lord Shiva, not seeing any of my good qualities. Now, related to Lord Shiva, telling to Sati. Now Sati answers by saying, what to speak of just criticizing you? I have committed a great offense to Lord Shiva, because I should have killed you who offend Shiva. When the protector of religion, that is Dharma Vitari, a great soul, the master Ise, is insulted by uncontrollable people, blocking the ears, one should go away. If it is not possible to kill him, or one should kill oneself. If possible, one should forcibly cut out the tongue of the criticizers who speak inauspiciously, Rushatim. One should then give up one's own life as atonement from hearing the criticism. Another meaning is, having his tongue cut out, the criticizer should give up his life. So she's saying both ways. Criticizer should cut his own tongue and give up his life. That is dharma. Because one destroys the criticizer's unlimited pain in hell. Because why that is necessary? Because one destroys the criticizer's unlimited pain in hell, there is no sin in killing him. If a Kshatriya kills that person, there is no sin. because otherwise he had to go through unlimited pain in hell. This is the method. Because the Kshatriya is qualified for punishing, he should cut out the tongue. Among the three Varnas, not qualified to punish the criticizer, the Vaishya and Sudra should punish themselves by giving up their life. Because it is not proper for a Brahmana to give up his life, he should block his ears, remember Vishnu, and go away. So this is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says. Let's read the translation and see what is there more in the purport.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sati continued, if one hears an irresponsible person blaspheme the master and controller of religion, one should block his ears and go away if unable to punish him. But if one is able to kill, then one should by force cut out the blasphemer's tongue and kill the offender. And after that, one should give up his own life.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhupada. So let's read the purport. Srila Prabhupada also tells more about what Vishwanath Chakravarti told, and then he gives his purport. Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The argument offered by Sati is that a person who vilifies a great personality is the lowest of all creatures. But by the same argument, Daksha could also defend himself by saying that since he was a Prajapati, the master of many living creatures, and one of the great officers of the great universal affairs, his position was so exalted that Sati should accept his good qualities instead of vilifying him. The answer to that argument is that Sati was not vilifying, but defending. If possible, she should have cut out Daksha's tongue because he blasphemed Lord Shiva. In other words, since Lord Shiva is the protector of religion, a person who vilifies him should be killed at once. And after killing such a person, one should give up one's life. That is the process. But because Daksha happened to be the father of Sati, she decided not to kill him, but to give up her own life in order to compensate for the great sin she had committed by hearing blasphemy of Lord Shiva. The instructions set forth here in Srimad Bhagavatam is that one should not tolerate at any cost the activities of a person who vilifies or blasphemes an authority. If one is a Brahmin, he should not give up his body, because by doing so, he would be responsible for killing a Brahmana. Therefore, a Brahmana should leave the place or block his ears so that he will not hear the blasphemy. If one happens to be a Kshatriya, he has the power to punish any man. Therefore, a Kshatriya should at once cut out the tongue of the vilifier and kill him. But as far as the Vaishyas and Shudras are concerned, they should immediately give up their bodies. Sati decided to give up her body because she thought herself to be among the Shudras and Vaishyas. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.32, Striyo Vaishyas Tatha Shudra. Women, laborers, and the mercantile class are on the same level. Thus, since it is recommended that Vaishyas and Shudras should immediately give up their bodies upon hearing blasphemy of an exalted person like Lord Shiva, she decided to give up her life. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So beautiful purport given by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So one thing is instructive here, that a great personality a person who vilifies a great personality is the lowest of all creatures. So that means he actually falls down from his exalted position, because Daksha was master and he was a Prajapati. He is master of many living creatures, one of the great officers of great universal affairs. He was that exalted. So he may say that that you are you are blaspheming me also, and he could make that argument. But another thing to look into that, as I was mentioning, was that what are the good qualities? Like people who are in this position should have those qualities of an exalted personality also. Otherwise, they are lowest of all creatures, even though they are in a very high position. So, answer to that argument, Srila Prabhupada says that Sati was not vilifying, but they will say, you are just telling me bad names. You should not tell me bad names. But Srila Prabhupada says that Sati was not vilifying his father, but was defending Lord Shiva. That was her intention. Her intention was not to vilify or say some bad things to Daksha, and she is daughter of Daksha. So she would never have told that. But this is something beyond the tolerance limit of any as a wife and as a person who has lot of respect for Lord Shiva, and also as a living entity who is actually revering to Lord Shiva, who is a Parama Vaishnava. So here he is a protector of religion. A person who vilifies him should be killed at once. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. And then the three approaches that is mentioned in this verse is appropriate for different varnas. For example, Brahmana cannot do a killing part. So if he kills himself, it's not good, because then it's a Brahma Hatya. And Brahma Hatya is considered as one of the sin. They would go into the in hell and suffer those consequences. So these kind of killing is not considered as suicide if it has been considered, because we have already heard. So it's purifying. One may think that it is a suicide thing. And then other thing is, if one happens to be a Kshatriya, he could actually punish that man and do those things. And then it decides that how Vaishya, Sudra, and they could give up their life because they have heard that. And Sati finally thinks to give up her life to set up an example, because she cannot kill because it's her father, and she doesn't also want that. By doing that activity, she could have done it because she is the supreme, like she has the supreme power. She could have done that. It was not impossible for her to do that. But if she does that, then it would again add to infamy of Lord Shiva, that he had killed, that he had told Sati to do this act. So she thought it is best for her to give up her life. Now, the question will arise that, like in Kali Yuga, most people are Vaishyas and Sudras, and then should we actually give up the bodies, and that just hearing a blasphemy? So that is something, a very arguable question, because this particular thing is based upon time, place, and circumstances. This is true, and this is dharma, and this has to be followed. But according to Kali Yuga, one should actually avoid that association, go from that place. That is being described by different acharyas, that because if one should avoid that place, where as the Brahmana is going to do. But killing oneself in Kali Yuga is considered as very sinful activity, even though. But if there is no choice, then that is the last thing to do. But as I was mentioning, it is not appropriate in Kali Yuga to do this, because most of the people are having those qualities. It's not like in Satya Yuga that few people would have those kind of things and one can do that. So that's why the greatest thing that one can do is to avoid, when somebody knows that this is going to happen and he realizes that, he should go away from that place and try to avoid the association and maintain a distance, or tell that person that if you are going to do that, then I am not able to continue to talk to you in that. We can talk on other matters, but we would not. I am so much intolerant if there is this kind of situation that comes, because we have to protect ourselves by Vaishnava aparad, and this is the biggest aparad. And if that aparad comes into our life, it would take away whatever devotional thing that we have done till date, would all be going into vain, because that is the hatimatta aparad. That is the one of the, like, for example, other aparads, as we were listening the other day, Lord Vishnu can and Lord Krishna can forgive, but even Vaishnava aparad, he would not. He would ask the person to go and ask forgiveness for that aparad from that person who actually, against whom the aparad was done. So one should be very careful. So I'll pause here, and if there are any reflections, any questions, any additions, please feel free.